Bam, 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 bam. You've reached the RCGroups podcast. Bam, 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 with your host, Jim T. Graham and Jason Cole. Jason Cole?
What's up, everybody?
I can't beatbox. Happy New Year, man.
It is a Happy New Year, isn't it?
Happy New Year. Well, you know, it's a new year, and I have made resolutions I've told you about, and I'm going to stick to them.
I don't do the resolution thing. I just live and be happy.
I'm going to tell you, I don't do resolutions that are unrealistic, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, I did start exercising last year, and I actually kept exercising, so that would be a resolution, but it wasn't a resolution, so then I was more apt to do it.
Well, I can see that.
One of my resolutions is to keep my my expectations low.
Yeah.
And my gratitude high.
Okay, I like it.
That is my only two resolutions that I've made.
Go. Yeah. Mine is to fly at least 6 packs a day of the Tiny Hawk.
And my goal is to drink at least 6 packs of beer a day of Budweiser. Jason Cole, you don't even know what's in my hand, but when you do, you will.
Oh, when am I about to?
An old friend showed up as I was cleaning my truck, which we'll talk about later in the podcast. The big black truck, I was cleaning it out, and this literally fell like a snowflake.
Oh, wow. What is it?
What?
Oh, it's the SD card.
I found it, man. After, I'm not going to do a half a day of looking for it. It came back on its own. And if you love something, set it free. And if it loves you, you'll probably find it in the floorboard.
It was meant to be. So you going to redo that review now?
No, but here's the thing I got. I don't know what's going to happen. I might blow my camera out. Watch this.
Uh-oh. Ow.
That thing's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's bright, dude.
Don't look at it.
Is that a Christmas gift?
Face light. This is how we lit Madonna in the. I worked on the video Rain. And if you watch that video, I want you to know this is basically how we lit her, right? You couldn't even see her nose. All you could see was her eyes and her lips.
Wow.
And I have a story. I have a story about that I'm sure I've told on this podcast. I was 23 at the time, and it's the first time I ever braided my hair, Jason. Ever.
That's like one of those anchor moments in your life, right there.
And we were shooting in an air hangar in San Diego. This was not the Spruce Goose air hangar; it was a different one. But we were out there, and I had my hair up in braids for about an hour when a shaved-headed lady approached me, who was a model. And was tattooed, which was uncommon back in that day. And she was asked me if I would like to go visit Madonna in her trailer. Wait, I went too far. Damn it. I was trying to keep this. Well, the good news is nothing happened. And the video, man, damn it. I was trying to tell the story in a way.
Jim politely declined.
But there's nothing to, okay, I've stuck myself here. Anyway, how did I? Oh, it was the light.
No, just kidding.
Anyway, that story aside, go Google Madonna Rain. I've worked on videos for almost, 12 years. I did it, maybe longer than that. And out of everything I did, from movies to videos, Madonna Rain's the best thing I ever did, and we won an award for that day.
Nice.
But that has nothing to do with RC. I want to say hello to all our live viewers. I'm not on the live chat yet. I was talking.
We got guys saying, hey guys, New Year's greetings, folks. What's up, my brothers from another airfield? I like it, Andy. Yeah, we're back. We didn't think we were going to be back, but we're back.
We did have a hiccup yesterday, but woke up, the hiccup was gone, and we were very excited.
It works.
And so here we are.
Yeah, and Jim and I got to go to the field 2 days ago for our club's, what do they call it? The Polar Bear Day fly-in?
It's called the Polar Bear Fly.
Polar Bear Fly.
I think.
Flying. We had a good time, man. The weather was not bad for a January 1st, 2019. About 50-something degrees and cloudy. Wasn't sunny, but wasn't crazy windy. It was really nice.
So what I've prepared for the... Boy, it's complicated over here.
Man, he's got like 6 monitors.
I am thinking about getting one more over the top, but I won't do that. Okay, so this is not Seth or Joe Nall. This is our local club. And on the first day of, where'd my arrow button go? It was just there. On the first day of every year, they have this event. Oh, it's gone. Hold on.
Hey, look at that truck.
Yeah. On the first day of every year, I'm trying to make it so I can flip through here. Let's see if I can do this. Yes.
Do it, Jim. I believe.
Okay, now if I go over there, it stays. Okay. Tricky business. And so this is me walking up to the area. And these are all our guys with all their stuff. I almost shot into the back of the trucks, Jason, but I didn't.
I've done that before. Yeah.
So in the earlier, this polar bear thing, they've done it in like single digit temperatures.
Yeah. No, thank you.
But it was 48 when I left the house, and I was putting on long johns, and my wife said, "You are overdressing." And so I stopped there, but got there, and it was cold as it could be.
I dressed appropriately. I usually put on a key pro tip here is put on a pair of pajama pants and then your regular pants. It's toasty. So
pro
nice.
Tip. So we have the, I guess, ladies of the club that make chili. And Jason, you were eating chili, weren't you?
Chili, and then the Fritos. Throw Fritos in like crackers instead of crackers. It's so good.
Yep. And then they also had some delightful dishes. And I didn't even think to bring anything to sell until I was almost there. But there were also lots of planes. And you may, Nikolai, if you're on the chat, there's one of the GBs we were looking at, and the guy had it out ready to fly for $100. And I think I had 80 in my pocket, right? And I was looking at it, and he walked up and he said, "You want to buy it?" And I said, I might want to buy it. Yeah. And I said, "How's it fly?" And he said, "It flies okay." And I was like, I don't want to buy it then.
Yeah.
Never did I want to spend money on okay.
It flies.
Oh,
so yeah.
And so the other part of this is I get to see a lot of, now you might go to the field and 3 guys, were there, maybe 4, but at this event, usually everybody, from the club is there.
Mm-hmm.
So like this guy right here, his name is Peter. I don't know if I have a better picture of Peter. He just finished, Brian Setzer from the Stray Cats. He just finished producing his last album. I don't even know what we call it anymore, but he's worked with a lot of great bands in the 70s, 80s, and 90s of heavy metal genre. And he's just such a nice guy. And we sat there and talked about amps and Eric Setzer and mic placement. So that's not something you get to do every day. Now, whose planes are these, Jason?
Those would be Michael Hines.
And Mike Hines was there. We took photos of that. Jason, if there's any live chat we need to sprinkle in with our chat.
I'm on it.
If they're
I got to fly. So that F4, that camo F4 right there. You can't really see. You can see the duct a little bit. Those tail cones. I actually 3D printed those. And then all of the parts inside the cockpit I 3D printed for Mike, and he painted all of it. So what's kind of happening is a lot of these scale planes are now guys are designing 3D printed parts that are way more scale than how the plane comes from the factory. So it's really neat, especially if you're a good painter and can detail things. You can really get some scale looking parts that are awesome looking. So that plane looked so great. He had crashed it. And then during the repair, he put in all these parts and did the repaint and all that stuff. And then I got to do the maiden flight for him at the field that day, and flies great.
Now, Jason, we were talking about 3D printing, and I 3D printed all this stuff and tended to break it all. And maybe that was my density levels and all that stuff. But for this, it would be perfect, for scale-like details on aircraft.
Oh yeah, it's really fantastic because it doesn't weigh a whole lot. And it just gives you some fantastic details.
Blurry. So here's the shots. This guy right here with his mouth open, he plays regularly on the Grand Ole Opry.
Well, there you go. My mom wants to go to the. I've never been. My mom wants to go.
Oh my God, you got to go. Grand Ole Opry is the Church of Nashville.
I know. I'm surprised I've never been. I just never had. I guess it's just never come up.
This guy in the skull cap was featured on one of our, I forget, what did we feature? I featured him somehow, but maybe I did this article on him.
Oh, I know what it was. It was the expert, I believe.
Yes. And he also is on the road with Lone Star, the country band.
Yep.
So that's what he does.
Yep.
Over here is Steve. Steve flies with Jim Burke, the former owner of RCGroups. And Steve's in a recent video that we just shot. And I told him, I said, go watch that video because you're talking in it. And then I tell everyone who you are. And he at the me, you know, I talk a lot, Jason. So when I finished talking a lot, he goes, well, Jim, I'm sorry I ruined your video. And I was like, no, that's not why. I didn't say it to say that. I said, you should go check it out because you're in it. So. Here's Mike Hines with his steely look to the skies.
Oh, yeah.
That hat is a little pointy on the top.
It's a little pointy. It's a little cold out.
There's Jason. So here's the deal. Hopefully I got a picture of you winding one up. Jason's flying his DLG with his new First Guy transmitter. And as soon as he did, the guy on the left there.
Wait. Did you say First Guy?
Yeah, First Guy.
The guy on would be appropriate for wintertime.
Yeah, the guy on the left, who was younger than everyone else at the event, was like, what the heck? And he'd never heard or seen it or even knew anything like this. He told Jason, I just thought you threw sailplanes in the air and watched them go slowly away. So Jason was wowing the crowd.
Yeah, it's fun. And so this was me testing it out with the FreeSky X-Lite transmitter and just getting used to it. It's like, you know, it's a whole different ball game, and it really is interesting flying with that smaller controller. It feels great, honestly. I like it a lot.
But it was talking to you.
Yeah, it talks to you. It's super functional. It's $100. I mean, it's unbelievable value for what it's capable of. But the funny thing is after I flew that, I went and flew the V900 from Horizon with my my Spectrum DX9.
Yes.
And I grabbed that radio, and I felt like I was carrying this giant full-size like arcade cabinet controller. It just going from the smaller thing to the full-size transmitter. It like took me a hot minute to get it like back, you know, feeling like it's supposed to feel, because it was just like such a vast difference in size and the gimbal throw area. It was just really like threw me off for a minute. But
P.S. Jason says you can also use this for gaming on your PC, which is kick-ass.
Sure can.
And then more field photos. Now this is Steve and his wife, and I made them feathers that mimic.
I didn't even know that was his wife. That's the first time I've ever seen her.
She's big in the IAC, and so the IAC, International Aerobatic, what's the C stand for? Championships, competition of that.
Collaboration.
Coalition, International Aerobatic Co-op. I like I'm gonna have a hat or a shirt made that said that. But they are all over the country competing. They were in South Africa that's where they were this year, right, Jason?
Daniel Haynes says, I thought it was pronounced Frisky.
Frisky. Yeah, I like
saying that for too long. That's funny.
Little bomber. Then I was showing this charge pack and that giant battery, which I guess is true.
Yeah, it's
look at these two. Here's Miss Lizzie Custer and Bryce Custer, the man.
Boy, he's got the stash rocking, doesn't he?
First thing I said was, I love what you got going on here, Bryce. Bryce taught me how to fly RC. How's that for historical significance? Plus, he's getting important.
He's got what?
He's getting younger every year. I mean, I'm getting older, but Bryce looks the same.
Yeah, I mean, that stash, that could be on Jimmy Fallon right there. They have little mustache wars sometimes.
Jimmy Fallon! This is them standing next to the heater where Liz stayed most of the time.
Yeah, heater was awesome.
Now, the man in the middle is Richard Rust. He is what they call the Grand Poobah. He is the president of our club. And then these are all chili ladies and chili men, I guess. Chili people. We don't want to call people chili ladies. They're chili people.
That's just racist.
Oh, in this picture, let's see if you can tell. In the first picture, they were being normal. Okay.
Where do you get the chili pepper beadlet things?
I guess you got to be in the crew to get those. But in this picture, I told them, I said, I want you all to smile, but internally, I want you to think of something that really upsets you.
And I heard that. I was like, where do you come up with all this stuff?
This is what they. So the other night, we ordered wine at dinner, and I never drink wine, and it was red wine. So I got the cup and I put it to my nose, and I was like, this wine, I can smell the leaves of the trees and I'm getting the earth flavor. And I was like, oh my God, I'm lost in the woods. Someone come get me. And then I said the line was funny yet satirical. I don't know.
Wow.
I just and then here
Never
we
a
go.
dull moment.
More fine people. Except there was no sun. It would be. And look at Jason. Look at that. This should be your new icon for your headshot.
There you go. Yeah. Look at my fat chin face.
That's good.
But hey, it's like really not sunny, and I am not wearing sunglasses while I'm flying. I always wear sunglasses. I didn't need to at all.
I'm using my pointer to illustrate that the stents and Jason knows.
Look how big that nostril is, dude. I can breathe now. I got to tell you.
This is air simulating going in your nose.
Yeah, dude. You could wind tunnel test my nose now.
I could put this mouse pointer right up your nose.
It will have no obstructions getting all the way through.
Jason had surgery and posted the removal of his stents on Facebook, which I wouldn't watch initially, but did watch finally.
Oh, it's not bad.
I think Bryce would look better in Liz's boots. More of an outdoorsy airline pilot.
You need some Uggs.
I do covet this. Boy, I'm really using the mouse today. I covet that camera lens.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, everybody. And Thursday's the new Friday, so feel good about it.
That's what I hear.
I don't know why. I guess that guy was just walking by. That's quite a photo.
That's a jet.
Now we got a little FPV going in the parking lot.
Oh, FPV with the Mavic. That's the DJI Mavic.
Those goggles are splendiferous. I would buy a DJI product just to get in the good DJI goggles.
There's F4.
Yeah, there was a lot of
lots of action.
Oh, and then there's a crash. So,
oh boy,
I think we're at the end of my photos here, which is good because I have a crash video to show you in a minute. This is the chili. This was at the end of the show, so it was kind of winding down. It was getting cold enough for it. Okay, this is it. So now I'm going to stop, hesitate, and listen. I need to learn the words to that song.
Collaborate. Second time that word's come up this whole podcast.
Okay, so
what's up, Nick? He's on the chat now.
I'm gonna go back and share a different thing with you, which you're gonna like.
Sharing is caring.
So this is
check it out.
Our field.
The
I'd let you hear audio, but the audio doesn't matter.
We do the audio.
Polar Bear 2019. A darker, colder polar bear. Okay, let's see if we can find people here. There's Liz.
Mike Hines in the beam.
In a lab that knows no nitro.
Here's a droney shot. It's a droney, y'all.
Drones fly in reverse.
You didn't know what a droney was. This is a
grass
droney.
Is green in Nashville, where it's wet, cold, and soggy.
Here, is this it? Is this the shot? Here it comes.
Here it comes. Bingo! Oh, and watch him look around. Whose was it? Okay, but wait. I think does he show it again?
No, I don't think so. But
there's one more thing I want to analyze here.
I mean, to me, this is great though because that's a newer pilot, and I love that we have newer pilots that are showing up to fly airplanes and learn, and this kind of stuff happens. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay, watch me. Oh, yeah, I better move. I got my back to the flight line. That is not a good idea.
I'm standing over there staring at it the whole time. I was like, oh, somebody's in trouble.
Oh, there they are, the pepper crew.
The peppers, the pepper pots.
Oh, that must be the guy in the goggles.
I think there was no damage. Well, we're going outer space.
Holy smokes.
Look at that. The Earth is not flat.
A finer video on our event than what we've just done. I'm leaving. I'm going to drop this mic and get the heck out of here.
All right. Well, there you go.
Hey, if you showed up to watch I might do an article on this. I'm not sure. What the heck? Let me turn this other. I don't know what videos are playing now.
The Carbon Z Cessna is, yeah, it does do that.
Jason, I have some startling news. It's not good. I'm not going to act like this is good news. It's not good news. It's bad for the hobby. And I didn't even know it. Now,
I don't know what you're going to say. I'm worried.
This has been threatened multiple times, but it never actually went through. And today I happened upon, because so many things come across our email list, I was like, hold on. This is going to seem sensational. But you have to see it to believe. Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh,
It closed it.
Is this a rip?
No, that's for real. That's runrider.com.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's over. He shut it down. Now, it didn't, I don't know if it had much to do with the hobby or more to do with other situational things that made him close it.
Yeah. Well, it was a rotor heli specific site, and that we all know
I
that
don't think that is what had anything to do with it.
Decreased quite a bit.
I just want to say I don't think it had anything to do with the hobby. I think it had to do with some internal affairs. I had a story I was going to tell, but I'm not, because I don't think it would be cool. So I will not tell that story. Jason, what do you have to talk about?
Okay.
Do you have anything to talk about today?
Well, we've been having fun. I got to fly a little bit. It was interesting. I took the V900 out there, and it was the fastest plane on the field. It was, it's 120 mile an hour, which really isn't all that fast.
But let me say, when Jason put it in the air, people backed up.
They backed up. Sounds good. It's impressive. So that was fun to do, but I still enjoy, especially for this time of year. I'm playing with the Tiny Hawk just about daily. I got the new 4-bladed props. So it comes with 3-blade props stock. I think they're going to start shipping with 4 eventually, but the 4-blade props allow it to do turtle mode or meow mode if you've got an Inductrix.
Meow.
And I can say it works, and I'm really happy that it works. Super fun, and I don't notice any flight time difference is negligible. I really can't tell. And it feels the same as it did on 3S, which is great because this thing flies awesome. So been having fun. I think, we kick back up with our Tuesday indoor flying this coming Tuesday next week. So I'll be back out doing that. And indoor racing is a lot of fun. I'm not much of a racer, but I just enjoy flying through the courses and just trying to get better and faster.
What are you talking about, Jason? You're a professional.
But not in drone racing.
Okay.
That's a different thing. I was never great. I really got frustrated with drone racing early on just because it was sit around and wait. You can't fly because you have to wait for your channel to be open. And there's a ton of people there. You get ready for a race. You got video issues. You get it sorted out. It's okay. You take off. You crash into the first gate. And then you go pick up your quad and replace parts and then wait around some more. It was just became like race days became just sitting around waiting and replacing parts with 20 seconds of flight time. And that just wasn't fun for me. So I just stopped racing and just doing it more for just FPV fun, which you go out by yourself. It's fun now. You get to fly a whole lot more, but still it's more fun with other people being able to do things. And so, but indoor racing has really gotten me back into that part of it. And I upgraded like the foam on my goggles to make it more comfortable. I want to get another module, but I got to pay
like
for
an
my
article.
surgery. Yeah, it's true. So anyway, but I've gotten like 13 batteries now for this thing. So it's just like, it's kind of taken over.
Oh, wow.
Right now, at least it's, this time of year, it's perfect because you can't really go outside and fly all that much.
I don't think I've said anything, but I did order HV batteries for my little Horizon quad that I just reviewed.
Okay. So Nick just posted something. He said he put his EF Extra and his V900, they flew them like back to back or whatever. And he says the V900 was just barely faster.
We actually talked about that, right?
I should have brought my EF Extra to fly at the field, but it's hanging up in the garage. I guess I just didn't grab it, but I'd like to fly them back to back. I'm sure. Yeah, they're probably pretty close. I do believe that the V900 that it was faster because it's on 4S. It's supposed to be 120, and then the EF Extras were like 110. Maybe a little higher, but just depends. But my personal opinion, I want to see what Nick replies to in the chat here, was that to me, the EF Extra felt slightly more locked in on turns. So where the V900 tended to right-hand turns, it would climb through the turn. Left-hand turns would dive. I don't know if it's a motor thrust line or, need some rudder compensation or whatever. You could fly through it with the thumb and fix it. But it just seems like you could go full throttle and then just bank and yank and pull like a hard pylon turn. you couldn't. I mean, you could do it, but you had to kind of watch where you were and which direction you were turning, because if you were close to the ground, you could go diving right for the ground, which is not a great thing. So it's just something to get used to. But I feel like the F Extra, just box stock, it was just locked in both directions, and you could just yank on it as hard as you want, not worry about it. So that's just my personal opinion. I do need to go fly them together to have more of a direct correlation between the two, but that's just how I feel currently. But I love the V900. It's the plane I took, so it's a lot of fun. He can't comment on that because he didn't fly it. Somebody else must have flew it. Well, there you go.
Hey, I want to talk about this thing I have in my hand.
What do you have in your hand?
It's I got it for Christmas. I'm looking for a model number and I don't see it. And I don't have the packaging anymore. It just occurred to me. Nice reader glasses. Awesome. This is what I'm talking about.
Is it the flashlight? Yeah.
It's the light that I was showing. But this is a Braun, and it's from Harbor Freight.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it for Christmas as a stocking stuffer. But I want to say, my high end, which I lost, my $90 LED flashlight. I haven't seen it in a year.
Oh, wow. It's in your truck still. You got to finish cleaning it.
Well, no, the truck is clean. But yeah, I will look. Maybe it's in my center console. It's a good point. But this feels quality-wise as good as my highest dollar LED light, right? Mm-hmm. But the interesting point is this part feels I don't know, almost gun-like in precision,
really?
Like not cheap at all, very metal and ball bearing-ish right now.
Yeah, so you don't feel like you're going to break it off.
Well, you could if you want, but no. So here's the cool part. So this bottom piece is flat on some of the sides. So you could set this up in your pit area like this and turn it on for a light. Or you could lay it down and turn it up, or it can go the other way too. So I could use this working on my truck. I could use it tooling leather. I could use it if I'm shooting videos, or if you're just working on something and you don't have a shop light nearby.
That's super handy. Is it 18-650 batteries?
It is. I don't know what's in here, but I can tell you it's USB powered.
Okay. So you charge it USB.
What is this? I didn't even know it's got a light on the tip.
Oh, there you go.
How did that happen? Hold on. And then I'll point this out.
Does it have a button? Did you do the soft press on the buttons?
Yeah, so it's one press, two presses, the light on the end, off, and then on.
Pretty cool. So was that a Christmas gift, or did you buy that?
No, it was a Christmas gift, and usually sometimes I get weird gifts that I don't have any use for, even though later I always find a use. But this one immediately I was like, oh, I like this.
Heck yeah. Is it magnetic? Can you stick it on the van or something?
I don't know.
I know I've seen some lights do that.
I don't think so.
Doesn't appear to be.
It would also be good if it had a clip on it or something. But I like that it'll stand up. Mm-hmm. Now there are no serrations on the end for attackers, but other than that, it's got it.
So it's not a tactical light, but that's okay.
Yes. I was looking for a new knife, Jason. I wanted one with nucks on it, but I'm pretty sure that would be illegal.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the laws are regarding that.
Jason doesn't care about the law. He ain't got time for that.
What law? What are you talking about? All
right. So it's December and it's been raining and cold enough for my dogs to pee and come immediately back in, which is pretty cold. I got something I want to talk about. This is a shameless self-promotion and moderately a little bit of RC history. I'm going to take us to the lovely site RCGroups.com. So, yes, and share and present to everyone. If you've ever been to an event or watched any videos, there's actually videos of us singing with Miss Ashley in this truck. My Ford 2002 7.3 diesel limited ultra, the pinnacle of SUVs. There's never been one bigger. And the 7.3 is the motor that everyone wants. I bought it because we're an international truck dealer in Sherman. My family is Sherman, Texas. And I am actually going to sell it. It's on RCGroups.com because I know that's who's going to want it the most. You can fit, Jason Cole, how much stuff have we shoved in this truck going to Joe Knoll?
Oh, too much to mention.
Copious amounts of foam.
All the things.
Everything. Batteries, tents.
Planes, banners, racing gates. People.
It's like a cube van except sexy.
Fly Low Girl Ashley's ridden in that truck.
A lot. And then we've many good times from here to Oshkosh and Seth, and I've been to Chris Henson's place. So it's moderately RC historic, but it's also an awesome truck. You can find that in rcgroups.com. Non-RC items. You may be asking yourself, let me look in the live chat.
You know, I shouldn't feel this way, but I do feel kind of sad that it's going to be going away.
Me too. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to one day go, hey, I need a giant truck to take me across the country.
Yep.
But in the live cast, everyone's asking, Jim, why are you selling the truck? Actually, no one's asking that there. But I'm going to show you that.
Boom.
So many years ago, I drove a 55 F100
It's my Chevrolet
pickup truck.
My Fox Chevrolet.
Good guys wear bow ties. I sold my truck.
I did that music video, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, no, that's why you memorized the song.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know it.
I did a video, a TV show / movie type of thing with Sandra Bernhardt. Do you know who she is?
Yeah, I know.
Very tall comedian, girlfriend of Madonna, another Madonna record. I did that show for so long. I was the smoke man, the special effects man on the show, in the same place where John F. Kennedy's brother was shot.
Nice.
But I memorized the entire comedy act.
That's funny.
And then she came over and sat down next to me. Once again, I was 23. She was wearing pasties, and that's all.
Yeah.
She's like 6'5", and she started talking to me, and my mind stopped working. I was like, no.
Like, what is happening?
I wanted to start quoting her own show back to her, but I know that you can get fired if you interact too intensely with famous people.
Yeah.
Like Madonna fired a guy for looking at her in the eye, like said, "You're fired. Leave the set."
Wow.
So you gotta be careful. Anyway,
man.
This
well,
is
if you watch that music video, we're talking about Yellow Wolf. It's called Box Chevrolet. I did the drone shots for that music video.
We're dropping a lot of promo spots here, Jason. Anyway, now that I'm not young anymore, I want to go back to being cool or have a truck that's cool. And so I'm going to sell the big girl and put myself in a 68 C10, hopefully very much like this. I don't have one yet. I still have to sell my truck. And then after that, I'm moving on. So
that's going to be awesome.
Swanky. A lot of swanky. Oh, yeah. I just can't wait to drive up to the field for the first time.
Yeah.
It's going to have a Tonio cover on the back so that I can slide my planes in there. And it's got to be waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to figure out how all that's going to work.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky.
Well, and now I'm looking at vintage trailers in case I need to haul stuff. I could then get a cool little teardroppy type of trailer.
Yeah.
And we could throw our stuff in there and then head on out.
And you get you an Airstream and you're ready to go on vacation.
Those are not cheap. That probably costs more than the truck.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got your Tuesday night adventures planned, right?
Yep. I'm not going to talk about it really much yet, but I do have a review project. The new version of the chair pack. If you guys remember that, if you've been with us long enough in the podcast, the FPV it's a backpack that's a chair. It's great for FPV stuff. They now have the insert called the Fpv Pack, where it's designed to hold all your stuff. It's got a transmitter cover to protect it. It's got a ton of just crazy, awesome updates that they've made to this whole system. So they sent me an entirely new chair pack and then the insert. So I'm going to be working on that. We'll have a cool video showing all the features of the new version. And we may have a fun surprise about that later. Not today, but maybe someday. We'll see. But so that's something else I got to work on in the next week or two. I may be doing it inside because it's kind of junky weather from now on, but we'll see. Couple of months till March, man. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, that's the big problem. It's December, then January. They don't traditionally ever give us fly days. Those 2 months.
Yeah.
So I don't expect anything going on. I'm so lucky. I feel so lucky that we got out there that day to fly that little pits or the medium-sized pits. Because what day has there been to fly since then?
Yeah.
Unless I missed it while I was in Mexico.
That's the thing. You got to get it while you can.
We didn't talk about Mexico. I went to Mexico. It was 83 degrees. The first day was cool enough to wear pants. And then every day after that, it was no longer cool enough to wear pants. and we're right there on the beach. I only heard one drone. I was going to bring a couple of micros, and then I found out that the place I was going had outlawed them. The board had to, and I'm sure my mom had everything to do with that since she's up there making kids. Out, huh? If kids have walkie-talkies, she's making a phone call. I called her on New Year's Day and I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Just listen to these damn screaming kids." Because there's a big pool out there. Oh, yeah. 70 here, New Year's Day, and this Sunday too. I've been reading about your weather, Nick. I've been reading the live chat here. Everyone, Nick's out there. What's it like out? Do you know what the temps are right now?
Where?
Hey Siri, what's Nashville weather?
46 degrees.
Here's the forecast for today.
44 degrees is what mine says.
44. Mine says that cloud looks like a very slow-moving zombie horde.
All right. Hey, by the way, the house, it almost flooded at our house 2 days ago. You know when that rain came through?
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Holy smokes. I heard it, and I thought I probably should stand up and walk in the backyard. And the new drainage ditch, which we documented so heavily last year, got that water past my house, but the houses behind mine had water moving up into the yards. It was bad. The good news is that all the trees I cut down in the creek to clear it out to make the water go faster, I left them all on the edge of the creek because I didn't want to haul them out. And I thought maybe a flood will come and take them away. And I stood up and watched as the flood took all those big branches and trees. And I don't know.
You need to get you one of those pro boat jet boats and run that thing when that water starts flying through there.
You'd never see it again, man. A brand new basketball went by. Angela came out and we were both watching it, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's a brand new basketball!" She's like, "I wasn't gonna go get it, but I think she thought I might." If you got in that water, you would not stop for 3 miles. I guarantee you.
You end up in
drainage ditch is where you'd end up. There was some girl here in Nashville that got washed into a drainage ditch and went like 300 feet underground and came out the other side.
Whoa!
Don't do that.
Well, that's a story.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, y'all. Well, listen. Here's the deal. It's wintertime. It's cold. Jason and I are still working on site issues on the daily. Not only on the site, but with the techs and many other people. Don't think that we're sitting around here cutting our hair, because we are definitely writing long journal-like posts on that. What's wrong, how to fix it, what we need fixed first, and all that good stuff. Yeah. Jason's on his front. I'm on my front. We're trying to take care of business as best we can. I would love it, Jason, if we actually were ITs and knew how everything worked exactly before anything went wrong, and that way we can fix it ourselves.
Yeah, tell you what, it kind of makes you want to go back to college and change and alter what you actually studied.
Well, really, ITs are born, I believe. You do have to go to school and learn, of course, but I don't think you could just say, "Hey, I'm going to be an IT now." I think that you have to have that mindset, like being a dentist.
Yeah,
like you gotta love it. People don't want to stick their hands in people's mouths all day long. Just certain people want to do that, and that's what dentists are.
Jeez.
I don't know. I have no airplanes coming to me. I do have an announcement coming from Chris Henson at Extreme Flight that will show up on Flying Giants and RCGroups. I just posted a new airplane on Flying Giants that you can go check out, and stories will be coming down the line. That's really all I have to say. I'll probably turn this into a podcast.
Did you see my article from this morning?
What was it about?
The drone movie.
I read, and then I was like, I didn't read the article because I was trying to put my podcast together and my podcast post.
There you go.
But tell me about it.
So it's called The Drone. And it's a movie. It's like a parody, like Zombiever. It's from the director that did Zombiever. I never saw that, but it sounds like something stupid. And
can I guess?
What?
The drone is much like a zombie in that it's sort of alive and flying around and tormenting people.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like basically it's the trailer starts out with how great technology is, and we use it for transportation and communication and all this stuff, and then it's like, but what if it gets a mind of its own? And it's like shows a DJI Phantom obviously like marked up to not be a DJI Phantom, but it's a DJI Phantom. It's like the most obvious thing in the world, and it starts like surveilling people, like, and the guy's like, it's flying up on its own, and he's like, it's not supposed to do that, and it does all this stuff, and it's like an AI or something.
Obviously a novice if he thinks.
Yeah. And then it's so cheesy, and it like they show the Inspire 1, and it like, you know, moving and doing stuff, and he's like, I hate upgrades. Just like, you're like, this is gonna be the dumbest movie in the world. But I think my point was that it's so mainstream now. Drones have made it like so, like they're so well known and mainstream that they're making a movie putting a drone as the main character and a villain. So I think it's pretty funny.
And you know, Truman's got it as a class elective, drones. So
yeah.
Hey, speaking of movies, and we're at the end of the podcast, I'm going to tell a non-RC story. I went to a movie with my wife called The Favorite. If you don't like inappropriate, now this is a movie about Queen Anne. It's a Victorian movie, but it is highly inappropriate. Not visually, well, sort of visually. Anyway, there was some inappropriateness in this movie. At one point, the couple, who were a little bit older than me, just literally the leading star said something and they got up and left together. And then at the funny part was at the end of the movie, and even I at the end of the movie was like, what is going on? And then a credit started rolling. Somebody goes, yay, it's over. And then behind me, a whole nother group of people, a guy goes, Andy King, you're the worst movie picker ever. And then the whole crowd kind of rioted and we all left. Wow. Crazy. I've seen some weird stuff. I once went to a movie full of activists, and the movie broke in the middle. And so it went dark, but then all the lights came on. And then we realized we were in a room full of hippies. Jason, you've never heard this story. And so one hippie stood up and did some, I don't know if he memorized this poem, but it was a poem about the environment. And he stood up and read or just verbalized his whole poem about the environment. And then another hippie stood up and did spoken word. And then somebody else sang a song. And then my wife and I were like, what is going on? And then the movie came back on. So
what the crap?
You never know what's going to happen. And then I'll end with this. I'll end with this. Totally not RC related. I will not turn this into a podcast. The guy that ran through my yard that I showed the video on.
Yeah.
Did
he go to jail?
I'm sure he didn't, but his insurance did send me a pretty decent check.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was.
I want. What was it? A rooster? Gotta get you a new rooster.
He did pay for the concrete chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
$142 is what he got built for that. And so awesome. I've decided I want to know when he's going to do it, but I want him to run through my yard once a week or once a month because I would like to have that steady income.
There you go. Yeah. I said the same thing when my wife parked down the road outside our house and it got sideswiped and we got like $1,800 for that. And it was like, you could barely tell. And I was like, we're not getting that fixed. I was like, we should park that out there once a month.
Right. Well, since you told your number, I'll tell. We got like 7 something out of that guy.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah! And my other neighbor was like, "I don't want to do that." So I can't wait to see him and brag.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I know some of our viewers have left because we're no longer talking about RC. But once again, it's December. I want to thank our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com. Go check out their newest scale airplane called the Mooney. Is that it, Jason?
The movie?
No, the Mooney, the Moonshine. The Edward Moon. I wrote the story. I should know. One moment, please.
Are you talking about the P-51?
It's the Moonbeam mixed wine. It's kind of like a swirl. I put those two words together. So that just came out. People are discussing that very heavily. And the other airplane I was talking about on FG is from Pilot USA, which I knew it was from Pilot, but I didn't want to say it and get it wrong. It's the new Pitts Challenger, 73-inch, 2 trim schemes. Looks badass. And then there's your I was looking for this too. This link to your first guy is on our main page of the magazine on RCGroups.com. And Jason, I don't know, and I'm talking really fast here, and we're almost done. Did you see that I said join the radio control professionals, Jim T. Graham and Jason Cole?
Oh wow. You don't think that's taking it too far?
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
All right. Well, we will see y'all next week. I have no idea what we'll talk about, and hopefully we'll have the systems in place to keep on rolling. And if not, we already have a plan B going. Oh, Daniel, thank you very much for saying it's a good show and entertaining, because I wasn't sure if it was either of those things. We're kind of winging it.
Man, y'all have a good week.
Hey, man, I want to thank Nikolai personally for all the great reviews he puts out. It's not easy to do. It's not hard to be consistent and do all the things you have to do in a review, and Nikolai does a great job of that, just like all our other reviewers.
For sure.
That is all. Okay, listen, I have to go do things. I don't know what they are yet. So, Jim T. Graham, Jason Cole, RC Groups, Hobby Kings is a sponsor. RC Groups is the site. Flying Giants is for all your giant scale guys, and Heli Freak is for the heli. And now apparently it's the only heli site left in America / the world. So go visit us. Heli Birds, is it what's it?
The Whirly Birders.
Whirly Birders. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, be sure if you don't have a Plus account, Jason Cole's setting you up.
I'll get that money in the mail for you. Appreciate it.
All right, I'm hitting the stop button, and we'll see y'all next month. And if you want to say anything, ask about us to talk about something or any of that stuff, that would be greatly appreciated. Send us a PM on RC Groups. I will read it, say it, or do it, as long as it's okay. All right, bye.